video.
Landscape.
Ay, landscape. Okay. Effect. No, just kidding. Okay.
With the road.
I've seen one in North Dakota. Video.
In front of your seats, we can't have anybody walk. This train is in motion, and finally, on a steam engine. They named this hill "Son of a Gun Hill." That's not really what they called it. We've cleaned it up a little bit. And underneath it, by the way, the cracks in those rocks underneath seem to get a little bigger. Colorado, and yes, it is its own town. It's got its own zip code and everything. You'll be able to see out here on the three-seat side, it's a little stone building out there in the distance. Now, bright green leaves of summertime, those only last about 3.5 months. One of the things Colorado is most well known for is what our aspen trees do during a very brief window of only a couple of weeks. Usually the aspen trees are more related to plants like grass and bamboo than they are to other trees. So most of that plant, most of that organism is the system of roots that's deep under all this rock and gravel. Because they're so deep underground, this also makes them very resilient to forest fires, since the majority of that plant is unharmed by a fire. And yes, people do visit the Rockies, especially around the 1st of October, from all over the world. Now, the railway was a success in the mid-1920s. It was actually 1925. The estate of Mr. Simmons, after he was here back in 1805, it was his mission made with Napoleon Bonaparte way over in France. At the time, France owned a large portion of North America, but old Napoleon there, he wouldn't stop starting wars over in Europe, and wars are very expensive. He needed more money, so in exchange, he gave about enough land to double the land area of the United States at the time to Thomas Jefferson in exchange for some cold hard cash. Prior when he first documented this peak, but his first two estimates, he said that he believed the mountain appeared to be at least 18,000 feet above sea level. He also said he did not believe any mortal human would be able to withstand conditions of any mountain so high. Well, today we know he was a little bit off about both of those statements. With modern satellite technology, we currently estimate that the mountain stands 14,115 feet above sea level. And not only have people been to the summit of Pike's Peak, but we are the second most visited mountain in the entire world. The only mountain that sees more traffic than we do is Mount Fuji over in Japan. But guess passing in 1812, the people began to refer to this as Pike's Peak to commemorate him. Before Pike got here with his diary, it was known as James Peak after a famous mountaineer, Edwin James, for whom there still is a James Peak in the state of Colorado named after today. A couple to the state of Utah is still named after today. And when the Ute lived here, they called the place Sun Mountain, or in their language, Tava Kava. Now there's an outcropping of rock, bare rock over there on the next hill on the pre-seed side. Trees can't grow in it, and we call that place the Lion's Den because park rangers have observed mountain lions sprawled out on those rocks on sunny days trying to... 93, we had another very special figure of history come visit us. You could ride a donkey like Simmons did. You could ride... there's probably a good chance that you don't know why that was written. It's this next view coming up around this next curve at a place we call Inspiration Point. And you really probably didn't know that America the Beautiful was almost the national anthem of the United States of America, having lost to the Star-Spangled Banner by only a couple of votes. Get those cameras ready, everybody. We're almost there. And again, definitely feel free to stand up. You're not going to want to miss this. But just as a reminder, we do need everyone to stay out of the aisle while we're here at Inspiration Point. This is another steep grade, and we don't want anyone to get hurt. Welcome to Inspiration Point. Right now we are at an elevation of about 11,000 feet above sea level. You're all looking out there to the east over the Great Plains, including the state of Kansas. That's where the Lion Amber waves of grain came from in the song. If you look a little more uphill in between these two peaks, that horizon down there is to the southeast. That's part of the panhandle of Oklahoma down there to the southeast. And again, I did not definitely expect this coming into work in the fog today. Really, it does not get any clearer than this. And on the clearest of days from the summit, not only can we see those states, but you can also see over the borders of New Mexico and Wyoming as well on a day like today. On the clearest day from the summit, you can see a total diameter of over 300 miles. It's about 320 miles. We've also got a bear den right outside the window here on the two-seat side. I actually only just became aware of this a few months ago. But look for the hole in the rock that the entrance is shaped like the letter M. Some of my co-workers apparently have seen bears coming in and out of this cave here on the hillside. Large body of water down the hill. That is one of 9 reservoirs here on the mountain, but that one is different. What makes that one special is that it used to be a glacier. This is the only lake up here that is naturally occurring. All of the others are man-made. This one's called Lake Moraine, and yes, that was once upon a time during the last ice age, a giant chunk of ice slowly slid down these hills, carving out that valley down there, and when it melted, it formed a lake in the lowest parts. Yes, there is a dam on it, that's man-made, but that wasn't put there until the early park. And let's clear that aisle, folks. This is another 25% grade. This one goes on for over a mile. We call it the Big Hill. And I can assure you that all these trees out here, these are all perfectly vertical, just like every tree that you've ever seen in your life. If they appear to be sideways to you, that is an optical illusion. You're the one that's sideways, not the tree. But here in a moment, when we get to 11,500 feet, there won't be any more trees. We climb about 1.5 miles vertical. These are the subalpine, alpine, and Arctic climate zones. Climates that you would find in places like Iceland, the North Pole, the South Pole, Greenland, places like that. And because the climate is so different up here, it's a whole different world. Trees can no longer survive. This ground is permanently frozen all year round, just a couple inches below the surface. It's generally covered with several feet of snow for the majority of the year. Surprisingly, on the 26th of October, we still don't really have too much to speak of. We would usually have quite a bit of snow by this time of year. We get double-digit below zero temperature, triple-digit wind speeds. And this ground is basically worthless as far as being a topsoil. So these are the reasons that trees can't grow above tree line. In fact, if you look over at that next mountain on the three-seat side, that one's called Mount El Magre, also known as the Calendar Mountain, since it's 12,365 feet above sea level. But you'll get a very good illustration of what tree line looks like from a few miles away. We've got a very large subterranean rodent. It looks a lot like a beaver. They're called marmots. They hibernate for 9 months out of the year, so I doubt we'll see them today, but in the summertime, there are plenty of bighorn sheep. It's not unusual for us to see bighorn sheep up here above tree line. We've got golden eagles. Very occasionally we even have bald eagles. One thing that we're almost certain to see today is the Arctic raven. These are the large all-black birds. Not only is this the only animal that lives up here all 365 days of the year in unbelievable weather, but they're also considered to be quite possibly the most intelligent. And if you study up a little bit on these amazing birds, you'll probably believe the same thing. Bristlecone pine trees. So not only do we have the largest land organism with the aspen tree, possibly the most intelligent non-human living thing here on Pike's Peak, but we also have the oldest. These bristlecone pine trees are 6,000 years old, and we don't know of any other living thing on the planet that's any older than that. 100 miles an hour up here. The record, at least that we know of, was 188 miles per hour. You're talking about hurricane force winds at that point, but the thing is, it broke our equipment. So it probably got even faster than that. We'll never know. Now, we met some of our section crew earlier today. Today, in the modern age, they come... We're going to compare it with mine. And this is a very special watch. What makes it special is that it is never wrong. Right now it says that it's about 11:31. Make sure that yours says the same thing. You're not in a different time zone or anything like that. Next, what you want to do is take your watch or your phone and set your alarm. Set that alarm for 12:30, 12:30, because this train is going to be leaving the summit at 12:40, 12:40. And just like every other bus, airplane, boat, you name it that you've ever been on. No, we don't make the other 200 people wait for you if you're not on time. So if you're not in your seat at 12:40, this train is going to be gone. So set those alarms, folks. That'll give you 10 minutes to wrap up whatever it is you're doing and get back into your seats. Now, by now, I'm sure many of you are wondering about the restroom situation up there. Don't worry, there is a brand new facility up there, complete with restrooms. Make sure to prioritize that. It takes just as long to get back as it did to get up there. So for anybody who misses it, so be sure to set those alarms. Keep an eye on the time up there. Use the restrooms. Make sure that you've got some. Can continue. And we've also got 3 like this one here. That's Unit 28. We do have 3 of those. Those were built in 2021. Although by the same people that have been building our trains ever since 1963. Row 44, we're waiting up. It's this grass that's all around us. Now, if you're a farmer back home, or maybe even just a hobby gardener, as you can imagine, you wouldn't expect anything to grow in this type of soil, especially if it's going to be frozen and covered in ice and snow. But this is a mind-numbingly slow process. This stuff takes about 100 years to spread just 1 inch. So you can imagine how long this field has been around here. Now, looking down the hill out here on the 3-seat side, you may notice what appears to be a road. And that's exactly Blue Peaks way out there in the distance. That's actually the high point of the Rocky Mountains, also known as the Great Divide or the Continental Divide, which stretches all the way through both North and South America, kind of right down the middle. And it's called the Divide because it divides the water. In other words, any rain or snow that lands on this side of those peaks is eventually going to find its way through rivers and streams out to the Mississippi River, the Gulf, or the Atlantic Ocean, and any moisture that lands on the far side, the west side of those peaks, will eventually find its way back out to the Pacific. That's why they call it the divide. It's kind of the highest point of both of those continents. Some of those peaks, by the way, are hundreds of miles away. Now, kind of younger, the guy sitting out there in front, that is a not quite full-grown male. The adult males are the rams. Those are the ones with the big curly horns that they're known for. That guy will get a little bit bigger and his horns will get a little longer as he grows up. And behind that, folks, once again, the state of Kansas. So typically those...
the continental divide, the Rocky Mountains.
So one way of looking at it is that we've actually built this railway twice. We built it back between 1889 and 91, and also between 2017 and 21. Very dangerous work with some loss of life. Now, during the original time, at one point there was a donkey carrying a box of dynamite on its back. The stuff was very volatile back then. That is his final resting place. The two men that were killed in the accident, they were given back to their families for a proper burial, but that old donkey is still buried there today, being that this is typically covered in feet of ice and snow. And even when it's not, the ground is permanently frozen just a few inches underneath. That old donkey was probably in the same condition he was the day that we buried him. Two-seat side. His grave was out there on the two-seat side. You may notice a wooden cross. Now, there is nobody currently buried there today, but the story behind that is that back in 1911, and mind you, it was the month of August, it was summertime, we had a couple here hiking. They were on their honeymoon. They were newlyweds on their honeymoon from the Dallas, Texas area. Willis and Sally Skinner, they decided they were going to hike to the summit of Pike's Peak to celebrate their union. Now, as I had mentioned before, the weather can do anything, anytime here, any time of day, any time of year. And even though it was in August, summertime, $10 worth of gold on a daily basis today. This is Ghost Corner right in this area. And then straight ahead, the highway is beginning to come into view. I see at least one car, like a dark blue SUV, going up there. No, you're not imagining that. There actually is a highway. It wasn't fully paved until 2011, but it begins in a town called Cascade, Colorado. Goes all the way to the summit of Pike's Peak. It is a toll road. It's complete with 150 hairpin turns, 0 guardrails. It is quite dangerous, especially when it gets slick. It seems like it's closed more often or not. And on just about every single train, I have at least one person who tells me they have driven this road before, and almost just as often they tell me that's why they're on the train today instead. But if you are so inclined, yes, there is a such thing as a drive to the summit of Pike's Peak. I would highly recommend getting a rental car. Don't use your own. Also, don't buy a used rental car because it's been to places like this. This is actually where a lot of manufacturers test their products for durability, road conditions this harsh, this steep and cold, etc. Don't get much worse in the United States. We do see quite a few prototypes up here. Also, the site of the Pike's Peak International Hill Climb, a world-class racing event, which is actually the second oldest auto race in America, behind only the Indy 500 that we hold here every year in the month of June. Many times it has to be canceled or postponed, or they only do kind of a half race like they did this last year on account of the weather conditions. just about here, everybody. Let's remain seated. You're gonna know when Cameron is done parking. He's got those brakes set. He's gonna sound the horn to let you know that he's got the brakes set. So let's stay seated until then. Also, everybody at the train, especially if you've got small children in your group. Welcome everyone to the stunning 14,115-foot summit at Pike's Peak. I can't believe how clear it turned out to be today.
Wow. We're lucky.
Watch your step. Welcome to the summit, everybody. Watch your step.
Nooney. Watch your step. Watch your step.
I told you not to walk on it. Life lessons. There you go.
Oh, such a good. Oo nga. Picture. Sir. Hot chocolate. Cheers. Plain donut. Cheers. Hot chocolate. Are we getting plain donut?
Yeah, you can do it.
See how long it
Come on, Junie. Come on, Nooney.
I want it to be dramatic.
Oh, I'm not gonna walk over there. It's too slippery, guys.
You gotta send further.
Say Sildahan Moon.
Huh?
Come on, shout it. Seal the honeymoon. Come on. They don't know. They don't know you.
Help doing Jeffrey.
I'm not doing it.
They're not gonna care. Seal the honeymoon. Come on, 1, 2, 3, go!
Seal the honeymoon.
Louder.
I cannot.
Plates scraping against one another deep beneath the Earth's crust compress the land upwards, creating the Rocky Mountains. Friction and molten magma forced granite to the surface. Erosion from ice, wind, rain, and snow shaped its contours and continues to transform the mountains today.
Transmissions to control our speed to no more than 8.5 miles per hour. Much like the automatic transmission in your car when you're going down a steep hill. Now when it's time to come to an actual stop, which is hopefully a stop that we're anticipating, so that he can do it nice and smooth, we've got 2 mechanical sets of brakes that are air powered, and that's how...
Oh, we're going down now, guys.
Yeah, it is. Now the drawback, and it's brand new also. The drawback to it though is that you have to hook or even at the summit, just get a hold of our ticket office. That's who handles the lost and found. They can help you out down there. Everyone else who works here, we'd like to thank everybody for coming. Thanks for spending some of your precious time off with us here. We'd love to have you back too. Maybe try a different season next time so you can experience it in a different way. And when you get back home, be Be sure to tell your family and friends. We love to have them stop by too. Have a great afternoon.
Chance in November then.
We're back. It's very nice. It's a must try. The monument.